the man who hosted Mr. Nasiru El-Rufai, former governor of Kaduna State, Segun Showumi of the PDP, Senator Gada, and Major Hamza Al-Mustafa. And that meeting has caused some kind of stir. It's a private meeting at the instance of the leadership of the Social Democratic Party in Abuja. The closed-door meeting took place at the office secretariat, and it sparked a lot of speculations about potential political realignment ahead of the 2023 general elections. Tonight, I have the host of that meeting and the man who set up that meeting, the national chairman of the Social Democratic Party, Alhaji Shehu Gabam, is live with us here in Abuja. So thanks so much indeed for joining us tonight. It's good to see you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you.
What exactly is the agenda? Are you planning some kind of political alliance? Or what exactly is at the back of your mind?
First, Sean, let me thank you on behalf of millions of Nigerians. Your opening remarks of yesterday and today is quite touchy.
Thank you.
You are challenging us as institutions, as human beings, as Nigerians to be committed to our country, to be patriotic to our country. It's not every Nigerian that does what you have done.
Thank you.
A real gem. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Take it from me. Millions of Nigerians, on behalf of SDP, I'm thanking you for reminding us of who we are.
Thank you, Alhaji Gabam. Appreciate it.
Number two, I don't know where the pressing of the red button is coming from politically, simply because we decided to come together and discuss national issues. This is a new year. And we have to review what happened in 2024, the turbulence the nation is going through, and of course, the kind of intimidation and harassment citizens are going through because of expressing their views or disagreement with the policy of government, which I happen to be a victim, and I want to place this on record. Some of my security were withdrawn for no justification, no reason was given.
Since when?
Almost 2-3 weeks ago. I have reached out to the highest authority to know why. Because I applied, because I'm entitled to it, it was given. And then there was no letter written to me or justification why they were withdrawn. I want to place it on record.
So you see this as some kind of political witch hunt?
Definitely, there's no justification for it.
So you've had a security attachment to you,
yes,
as security cover,
yes,
for your protection.
Yes.
As a leader of the national,
yes,
the national chairman of the SDP,
yes,
but they are being withdrawn.
They've been withdrawn.
You think this is because of your voice of dissent, or what exactly?
Naturally, and I'm not a gutted person. I'm not a street person. I use diplomatic language in channeling our ideas or advice to the government. I wasn't designed to be a hostile or a vulgarous person in terms of passing message. I'm a career-trained person in politics. Those who taught me politics included Led Abubakar Rimi, Led Cicero of
yes, okay.
Yes, Ibadan, and then Led Solomon Lar. The host of them that I have met in the course of building a career. And we pick the best out of them. We are trained to be mindful of our language, what we use, and how we communicate through. And we apply through professionally without mixing words. We can disagree with the government, but Nigeria is our country. We must do everything to give or to add value to the government if the government is willing to listen.
Alhaji Gabam, do you have a feeling that this government is hostile to opposition voices?
Well, it's surprising to me because the least person I expect to be hostile to the opposition person is the current president.
Are they hostile in the real sense?
They are hostile. If they are not hostile, look at what happened to Faroti because of he raised issues. You can say an elderly man shedding tears, crying. It's quite touchy.
But
it's unbelievable.
But is it the government that is against Dele Farotimi? I think it's Baba Afe Babalola that took Dele Farotimi.
Look, as citizens, we know how our country is being run. We know the implications and the influence of government in a lot of things that has happened. I've given you my own example. You know, nobody ever found me in doing anything that is bad or illegal or using foul language on any leader of the country, because if you use foul language on your leaders, it's going to affect you. You have to pray for your country, you have to pray for your leaders. But you can see what we go through, and throughout our contribution to this government have been positive. It's on record, and so on and so on. But let me say this. My advice is that the President and Commander-in-Chief, let me remind him, he was elected senator under SDP during the late Abiola SDP era. 2, he went to exile during Abacha's era. He came back and became the governor of Lagos for 8 years. So he's the least person to be expected to allow some surrogate in his government to use instrument of government to be harassing citizens because they express their view. I just had my brother and my friend articulated the position, foreign policy position on Ambassador Tuga very brilliantly. And I had him also saying that it's the right of Nigerians to express themselves. I wish the government will allow that to be strictly adhered to, not to use coercion of states to suppress the voices that are good for the country. So let me not digress from what you have said. The meeting strategically was to review the situation of the country 2024. And SDP, of course, as a party, we are an opposition party. We have elected members in the parliament, in the state assembly, in the local government, in the councillorship. So we owe it a duty as a party to look at areas where things are not going right and also to open the space of the party and reach out to a lot of people. It's the same thing APC did when PDP was misbehaving. They reorganized, they regrouped, and they relaunched a merger that led to defeat of the PDP. So there's nothing wrong, or we are not doing anything that is wrong. And I don't know why they brouhaha about it as if it is the first time Nasir El-Rufai visited or Shegun Shehu being put to be a friend. One of the spokesmen of the PDP. Me and Shegun Shehu have fought internally to restore decency and normalcy in PDP. We could not succeed. So some of us exited. So, and Mustafa has been a friend as well. We've been in this struggle for a better Nigeria, not to undermine Nigeria.
Just give me a moment, because, and I'll ask questions in relation to why people think that, where they steer, why all of the permutations and why people are thinking in the direction, because there are a lot of people who think, yes, you can see the Shehu Gabams of this world having meeting in broad daylight. What about the meetings that you people don't have in broad daylight, the nocturnal meetings? And those are the ones that we need to be worried about. But I mean, is it the worry for the ruling party? Why the opposition forces are joining, are realigning? We'll take a break, everyone. Thanks so much, everyone, for staying with us. Why the stare? Perhaps if you see a Nasir El-Rufai that seems to have been, is now being torn an outsider on the inside in the APC, might give a clue. You see a Shegun Shehu, Major Al-Mustafa in an SDP. Perhaps the reason why there are a lot of stare about these possible alliances. And I said earlier, these are the ones that we know. What about the nocturnal, the non-public ones? Alhaji Shehu Gabam was a host of that meeting. Give us an understanding. Are you of the view, because there are those who think that the only way that the current government and the APC, as it currently is right now, can only be defeated or ousted or challenged at the election if there is a very reasonable and powerful political alliance or realignment? Do you think so too?
No, I think the government policies and programs will determine how the election will go. It has nothing to do with personality.
So you do think that President Tinubu still has a good chance of changing the tide? Because there are those who believe that the popularity of the APC has dwindled dramatically and drastically over the last year or so because of some of the policies.
I know that no president that was elected to serve 4 years and had issues in 2 years that survived. Jonathan, opposition started within 2 years, he lost election. So the president have a team that does assessment of what they are doing so far. I'm sure he has a report. And the president admitted himself that the situation is very bad due to his own policy, his own pronouncements, and so on and so forth. And like I have said, traditionally, it's not just the fault of the president, but when you have cabinet members that have no capacity to drive your policy and solve some of the problems, you cannot drive a nation alone as a president. It's not possible at all.
So you don't think that President Tinubu has the right people?
He doesn't have. This is not the first time I'm saying it, and I'm saying it as somebody who believed and who saw him and who he knew when he was the governor of Lagos State. I know the kind of team he has, a crack team that have capacity to advise him and generate ideas. And he succeeded, and he's proud always to say that he transformed Lagos State. What is happening today is a rare privilege for somebody of his age to be a president of Nigeria. Because by assumption, somebody of almost 80-something years is not looking for cars to drive. Is not looking for a house to sleep. Is not looking for a precious bed. or special food.
Those who are close to the president said that he said he's not looking for money. He's not looking for wealth.
Exactly.
That he wants to build a legacy. He said he wants to be the Lee Kuan Yew of Nigeria. He wants to change Nigeria. He wants to leave a legacy. That those who are close to him will say that. Do you think that is possible?
It's not
is he on the right path?
It's not about saying. It's about seeing it on the ground.
So
and this is why we always remind him. Nigeria have never faced the kind of economic hardship in history that we are faced today. Nigeria have never lost their life in a quantum in history like they are losing their life today. Nigeria have never gone through cost of foods skyrocketing, uncontrollable, as if we don't have a nation like today. Nigeria have never gone through a system of lack of deterrence like we have today. At least we have seen Obasanjo's regime. When he came in, the economy was bad, there's insecurity, but he was on top of the issue. When he started in Zaki BM, he crushed it. In Odi, he crushed it, and the nation was stable. Now, what we are saying is that it's a rare privilege, somebody of his age to be a president, which means that his entire life on that seat is to leave a legacy. Nothing more than that. And those legacies are legacies that will speak for him after leaving office. President Yar'Adua have a short time in office. President Yar'Adua said that the process that produces the president is a faulty process, admitting the fact that something is wrong. But this same president knew that he inherited a system that was on its knees, and he campaigned to correct those systems. But the first decision he took is to bring in massive pains on Nigerians by removing subsidy all over. There's no country living on earth that do not apply subsidy on various sectors of the economy, from the education, from health, from infrastructure, virtually every system. All countries on earth apply subsidy on it. In Nigeria, the product that God have given us to enjoy, subsidy was removed. And there is no plan.
Possible policy tariff increase of tariff on telecoms,
which the president said should be removed. They are still charging it. Even the cyber levy fee that they withdraw, they are still charging. Some of the things that are happening, you keep on wondering that was it that the president is not aware, or some people behind the scene are acting on behalf of the president and allowing things to happen.
So I mean, and I'm worried that you made this statement because there are a few people that a lot of analysts will have identified. They've identified the likes of Dave Umahi, the likes of Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, the likes of Nyesom Wike, Wale Edun, and a few others in this cabinet that they think, Festus Keyamos of this world, who they think are forward-looking, they are progressive, they are performers. And when you raise a big question mark about the kind of team that the president has, the president cannot succeed, we all know, if he doesn't have the kind of team. So you think that there is a danger in the kind of team that the president has?
The president knows there's a danger, and I'm sure he's planning to make some cabinet reshufflement.
But he's done that. I'm not sure he's done.
I don't think that's the last.
He doesn't look like a president that would be reshuffling cabinet.
The president, even nobody told him, knows that he have people that are incapable being in the position that they are today. And when you are mentioning some of those names, yes, I can give credit to some of the things Wike is doing that are visible. You can see, you can touch. But the Minister of Works at the initial stage, yes, he was on top of the range. There was a hope that a lot of transformation, a lot of road repairs, fly the entire roads. Look at Kaduna, Abuja, Zaria Road for over 9 years. It's a shame. President Babangida constructed Walaza Road under 20 months. Just rehabilitation of the roads is impossible. Lagos, Ibadan roads for almost 18 years. 18 years. And this is a democratically elected government. Is it not a shame? Is it not a shame? Now, it's not under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu those contracts were given. But he took responsibility from the very day he took out of office to ensure that he fast-tracked the process, transparency of the process, efficiency of the process. This is what we are talking about. You inherited a system that is bad, and you know they are bad, and you say you are going to rejiggle them. What the Nigerians are expecting, President Bola Tinubu, is that he will rejiggle the system. Some of the bad policies of Buhari administration, he will change them. Personally, as an individual, I place a lot of hope on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that he will perform much, much better than President Muhammadu Buhari. And he's somebody that I know, that I respect.
But you don't think that he's doing that?
There is no any sign.
So it doesn't look like there is a transition between Buhari to Tinubu.
I have not seen any transition so
They
far.
look like Siamese twins.
What is the transition in the CBN? What is the transition in the NNPC? This is the biggest cartel Nigeria have ever had in history that is exploiting Nigeria. What is the transition there? What changes are we having? So tell me specific area where there's a transformation or shift of policy from Buhari's policy to New Bola's policy. Virtually everything was inherited. Some of this contract they are talking about, pro-Chinese, it was from Buhari's regime. They just took over, they are modifying some of the areas. It's not as if they initiated the entire process. But 2 years now, by May, he will be 2 years in office. And there is nothing really to showcase. But in 2 years, if you have a committed team, you can do something like a miracle. You can go to just Egypt not too long ago. Go and see the massive transformation that they are doing. So what I'm saying in essence is that we all wish him well. We don't want him to fail as somebody that have been tested, have been voted for by Nigerians. And what we expected is to build that legitimacy base and then deal with the trust deficit gap that is very, very bad. There is no policy this government would bring Nigeria will accept because of the trust deficit gap. He should deal with that. He should overhaul that. He should show Nigeria that he's a leader, he's an elder, he's a father. He wants the country to move on. But you can't concentrate everything on regional basis to create confusion and chaos and distrust in Nigerians that you don't believe probably in building a cohesive nation. Your entire appointment is tilted towards one system. It has never happened in history of Nigeria.
Is it the reason why there seems to be a force in the north against this government? There seems to be some political movement in the northern region of the country.
No, where I expected a transition in that regard is Buhari did the same. Majority of his people are from northern Nigeria. But have they helped him to succeed? No, the answer is no. They helped Buhari to fail. So I thought Bola would do a transition from there and build a nation, a collection of best Nigerians in every state of the federation. You have patriotic Nigerians that will help him to succeed.
Let me ask you this critical question. Are you in agreement or in talks with any major political force ahead of 2027?
Let me remind you, last year, I called a meeting of 9 opposition political parties in SDP. It was on channels as well. It was also addressed a lot of issues. This is not the first time we are doing it. We believe in one Nigeria. Of course, as a party, we are into discussions with a lot of prominent political figures. It's natural. It's within our right as a party to do that. It's also within our right to go for election and win election.
And you are thinking that in 2027, you are planning for a government change through the ballot. Is that what you are planning?
Every political party is planning to win election, including the APC. They are planning to win again.
Not a merger, but an alliance. Is that what you are planning?
No, nobody is talking about merger. It's not the era that we live. Is not an era of merger. It's an era of committed Nigerians that are key, that believe in Nigeria, Nigerian prosperity, and so on and so forth. And by the way, why they dust about Malam Nasir El-Rufai? They say it's not of importance, it's not significant, or nothing. So why they worried about El-Rufai? Why they worried about Nasir El-Rufai? Why they worried about Major Mustafa? Why they worried about Shegun Shoumi? If they are nothing, if they are important, why wouldn't their parties or the government give it the relevant role they needed to play and enhance the efficiency of the government? So if you say these people are useless, they are not important, and it's a slightest move, you get panic and you press a red button, you are consigned. And they are not a threat to the country.
So, but you are serious about the 2027 project?
I am a chairman of Social Democratic Party. My mission is to take over the government democratically.
All right.
That's my mission.
Thank you so much.
And by God's grace, we'll succeed. We are not doing it because we want to bring down the government.
It's not about Bola Tinubu?
No.
Is it?
It's about winning election.
But Bola Tinubu performs well. Do you still want to remove him from power?
I wish he is performing well. Maybe this issue wouldn't have arisen.
Okay. Thank you so much, Alhaji Shehu Gabam, for your insight tonight. I appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you.